Alright guys, it is the morning after Liverpool beat Norwich 2-1. The reason I'm filming it this morning is because I went to the game and I didn't get back till 12:30. It was closer than I thought it was going to be. My prediction for the game was 3-1 win to Liverpool, finished 2-1, and not Norwich did give it a good go, to be fair. They had a couple of chances throughout the game which they could have taken better, mainly Timo Pukki in the first half and possibly Josh Sargent in the second. And Allison also had to make a couple of decent saves as well. But Minamino was the hero, if you like, again for Liverpool in the cup competitions, as he scored two against Norwich yet again, like he did earlier in the season, so 4 in 2 games against Norwich for him. And God knows how many goals he's actually scored in cup competitions this season now. I think he scored 4 in the League Cup, and he also scored 1 against Cardiff and 2 against Norwich just now, so 7 goals in cup competitions for Minamino. He's doing quite well in these competitions. Both his goals were well taken. The first one came from a Costas Tsimikas cross that Divock Origi did well to lay off to him, to be fair, to have the composure to pick him out. And Minamino just hit it as hard as he could, and it went past the Norwich goalkeeper. And the second one was just brilliant finish from the corner at the back post on the half volley, completely slices it, but gets it right into like the very top right corner off the post. Good. Well, I'd say good strike, but it wasn't very clean contact. It just happened to go in like an unstoppable position for the goalkeeper. Another good performance by Minamino, though he had a good game in general as well. I thought Divock Origi did as well. Diogo Jota, though, he had a bit of a quiet one tonight, just wasn't involved that much. But then again, I don't think he ever is like a striker or forward that is always completely involved in the game. Usually when he's in the headlines, it's not because he's like run the show, it's because he scored a couple of goals and didn't do much else in the game. He's not a player who dominates opposition defences. He just has like 2 or 3 moments each game where he looks like scoring or creates a chance or something like that. The midfield played well, especially the first half. I thought Curtis Jones played really well. But it's a bit of a shame that he got hooked at half time due to injury. I'm not even sure what injury it was or what happened. But he had to come off, so it can't have been that good, obviously. The only downside for Liverpool, I suppose, was there was a few moments where we were a bit shaky in defence, particularly Joe Gomez. I like Joe Gomez. I think he's a good defender, but it's clear at the moment that he really does need a run of games if he is to get back to his best, because he's been out for nearly an entire year from I think it was November 2020 to the start of this season. So nearly an entire year, good 9 months. And even since he's come back fit, because of how good Joel Matip, Virgil van Dijk and even Ibrahima Konate have been, he hasn't had much chance in the first team. He's had a few games in games that aren't like massive games. I think the biggest game he's probably played this season was against AC Milan on the opening night of the Champions League. And he has played a few games in the cup competitions as well. So, but still, it's not enough to get a good run of form going. I don't think. Like, some of his passing was a bit off. Some of his decision making wasn't the best. Like for Norwich's goal, which was a brilliant strike by Lucas Rupp, by the way. he did back off Lucas Rupp too much and sort of invited him to have the shot. And Rupp, I mean, said thank you very much, didn't he, really? His shot flew past Alisson and made it a bit of a nervy end for Liverpool. They had a young lad come on at half-time who nearly scored right at the end as well. Alisson had to make a good save. But yeah, oh my God, at half-time though, right in front of where I was sitting right by the corner flag at like in the bottom left corner of the main stand. And I can't pronounce his first name, but Plaqueta for Norwich got like sort of pushed off the ball by Simicast. It wasn't a foul or anything, it was just like a bit of strength. But because of like in football now, and it happens in quite a lot of stadiums, the only stadiums I can think of where it doesn't really happen are maybe the Etihad and Molineux and the Olympic Stadium. There is so little space in between the advertising boards and the actual edge of the pitch that Plaqueta gets shoved off the ball and goes just like he can't stop running because of the momentum he's got, and trips over the advertising board and just like goes, so like the advertising board's like this, like straight over. Like that could have gone a lot worse than it did if he'd have whacked his head on the gate behind the advertising board. I mean, that could be serious injury, and not even like just serious football injury. I mean, like serious life injury. So yeah, a bit fortunate there that didn't happen. But yeah, it can't have been that comfortable for him. Yeah, anyway, back to the actual game. Yeah, other than that, it was a fairly straightforward performance for Liverpool. James Milner had a good game at right back. I know it's not against a very strong Norwich team that are going to give him many problems in terms of going, defending for Milner, but going forward for Norwich. But he still dealt with anything that did come his way and looked quite good going forward. He put in a good few crosses as well. But yeah, Liverpool are through to the quarterfinals. Norwich aren't. And to be honest, that probably does them a bit of a favour because they didn't put out a strong lineup last night. They put like a half and half team out. They had Timu Pukki and Rashica out. I think they started Norman as well. And Ben Gibson too. But other than that, it wasn't a very strong team. So I think it's clear that Dean Smith is focusing on Premier League survival, if it is still possible. I think yeah, it's still possible. There's quite a few games to go yet, even if they are like 20th. But yeah, I think that's got to be the main aim for them this season. Yeah, let's see Liverpool get in the quarterfinals. The draw is tonight, I think, before the Everton Boreham Wood game. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.